Hattie Coombs now.
Oh, yes.
Not officially, but I got married a couple of months ago, so Hattie.
Where was that at, Haz?
Merrydale Manor, where else? And I am Michael's daughter.
Yeah, I'm Michael Earlham, the owner. Head of the family, should we say, of Merrydale Manor. Been working here since the year 2000 when we bought the property, going back that far, but in respect of we had it as a family home for 18 years. When we bought it, like I say, it was back in the year 2000. It was a derelict property at the time. We came down the drive, knew it needed a hell of a lot of doing to it, but I could just see the minute I came down the drive with my wife and said, wow, what a position, what a setting.
Yeah, it's a setting, isn't it?
You could feel it was going to be a family home if we could get it right, and we had the time and the money to turn it into that. Hattie came along and it turned into a family home pretty well overnight. It did take us about 3 years to develop it into that from the state it was in. But yeah, it was always a great family home. We have so many memories here, and we just, yeah, it's been everything we could have ever wished for. When we made the decision of turning Merrydale Manor into a wedding venue, it was a big decision, there's no doubt about it, because when you're taking bookings, you're talking 2-3 years in advance, so there's no going back on it. Once you've decided, you've got to see it through. It was like a building site. We're in early stages of transforming it into this beautiful venue.
I would like to welcome you all here today to the beautiful Merrydale Manor on this very special occasion, the day of their marriage.
Hattie and Joe being married here today is so special. Hattie spent 15 years of her younger days growing up here. Looking back, she had her cousins and friends round for sleepovers, celebrated key birthdays, 18th, 21st, working here, baby shower, and Harley's first birthday. Then today, one of the biggest days of her life. Memories forever at Merrydale.
I think the hardest part about that, we were actually still living here while it opened up as Merrydale Manor wedding venue. So we were kind of in and out of hotels at the weekend, weren't we? Because it was like, I think we had, from memory, I think we had 13 weddings the first year we opened, and that was the year that we were in and out, weren't we? So that year was a little bit tricky, trying to get used to having people. It felt then still like a family home. It seems more now like it's making other families happy rather than just our family, which is really nice to see it.
But you're right, when you go back, we were coming out of here, going into a hotel, and then coming back, because obviously we just wanted to give those families the privacy and that and keep us away a bit. But what was happening also, the odd time, because to get the wedding, you know, obviously they're taking the courtyard rooms in the main building, and then obviously you got the manor house. And then a few of the times they were looking around and said, we would love to stop in the manor. I said, well, that is our longer vision to do that. This was in the early days. And but it was quite tough going home to my wife and saying, look, they're actually moving in the house on Saturday and using our bed.
Pack your bags.
Pack your bags. And I mean, bless her, how she put up with that. And it was quite a few times that, you know, you were stripping the bed on the Sunday morning to move back in again. But, you know, at the end of the day, that's what we did. And, you know, and that's what you have to do sometimes in life and in business to get things up and running and get the things moving. It was a funny one because, you know, at the end of the day, it's your family home and people coming inside and walking around and getting on with their big day, and it's such a different feel to it. I mean, for me to come through the front door and not having to take my shoes off was a right novelty.
So I think the first impression is the driveway with Merrydale. That is probably the biggest thing that makes people go wow with the whole thing. I mean, there's so much within Merrydale that I think is so stand out. The fountain, the lake, but I think the driveway is the main thing. First impression. People always say they see it on pictures and it looked amazing, but it always looks better in real life, which is exactly how you want it. So the first thing that people usually get shown is the ceremony room. So that is, you kind of forget, and I learnt this with my own wedding. Joe was so excited about the ceremony, and I think as a bride you get wrapped up in, like, you're thinking about your table plan, like your seating plan, and what's your first dance song going to be, and like all those little things which are so important, but you actually forget you're getting married and the ceremony is so important. So I think that, to see that, the first thing as you come down the drive is so nice, of like where you're actually going to do your vows. People then will walk round to the back garden and sort of see all the views in there, which are amazing. You've had a gazebo put in now, haven't you?
Yeah.
So that's like an amazing photo opportunity.
The other thing that I think really worked in our favour, that when we bought the property, it was half developed as a golf course. So when we say the grounds look absolutely amazing, a lot of that with the landscaping, like I say, it was half developed. The 18th hole was going to be over the main lake that we've got at the front of the ceremony room. So with all that landscaping around there and the big lake it's got, I mean, obviously we put the jetty in and what we did for when we had it as a family home, but what I'm saying is I think that's really complemented of what we've done here. So I think that's been a big help for doing what we're doing with the wedding business.
You're so proud of it. I think I learnt that from my own wedding. Some of my friends that came to my wedding haven't been here since, you know, I lived here however long ago, years and years ago. So you're just so proud, and I think that happens a lot where people will, you know, a couple will come for the first time and then they're on the phone again a couple of days later, can I bring my mum, can I bring my dad, like, which is so nice just to see another family enjoy it like your family did.
We've got a very old building here, goes back to 17th century, the old house. But what I'm saying, we've got a very old building here, but with a modern twist. So when we were living here as a family, when we moved on for it to be a wedding venue, especially the house, we got up and walked out in a way and left the furniture. And what I do see is a lot of couples that are walking around say what a great family feel it's got, homely feel, homely. And you know, we've still got pictures up of my dad and my mum and Hattie and the family, and it does, and that's what's the nice thing about walking about, because all them memories when you're walking around, even myself and Hattie when we're doing show rounds, comes back to you, you know, and that's why it's just
doing
so
a show
special
round and you'll see someone, there's like a painting of me upstairs,
and they'll look at you
and they'll be looking at the painting and then looking at me, and you can see their like mind ticking, like, do I ask her or do I not?
I do see that a lot. They love that it's got a modern twist to it, and but it's still got a lot of history with it as well.
Girls are amazing, aren't
Oh,
they?
amazing.
From the get-go, you'll have a pre-meet followed by a final meet, and they're just amazing. They're a really nice, young, fresh team as well.
From our point of view, and I talk on behalf of both of us, because I think me and Hattie, you know, agree on this big way, because the staff here, I honestly feel, you know, we've got one of the best teams we could ever wish to have anyway, put it that way. And I think it's that when we talk about passion's a big word, but at the end of the day, they just treat it as their own, the way they deal with the people. If they felt it wasn't good enough for them individuals, i.e. the staff, they'll put things right without even asking. They just get on with it. And they, you know, they get as much a kick out of making that day so special for the couple as much as we do. And we can't ask for any more than that, really. You know, it's just, yeah, it's just like we keep saying, one big happy Merrydale family. And as long as we keep encouraging people like that to come on board as we expand and keep moving on, and you know, we've got people from the top, just keep feeding that ethos down, I think we're in for a great future at Merrydale, and I honestly believe, you know, we're going to make some couples happy.
When you get married at Merrydale, you do have the option, if you want to stay the night before, for the bride in the bridal lodge, which is so nice. You can wake up with all your bridesmaids here at the venue and then come across over to the makeup room in the main house in the morning and get ready. I actually think that's one of the nicest bits. I know on my wedding, one of my favourite bits was getting ready in the morning with all your friends, and especially it works really well here where we have got the makeup suite situated. As you come out of the door, you go straight into the lounge and kitchen. So it tends to be like a full family affair in the morning. You've got mum and dad just having like a coffee and tea and all the bridesmaids getting ready. It's always a really nice atmosphere. So in there is 6 makeup stations, all with LED lights. So every makeup artist that comes always says it's their dream, because you always find like a lot of the time makeup artists bring their own lights and stuff, but we've got it all here in our makeup suite. One of the main benefits of the makeup suite is that it's so far away from the groom's room, which is obviously what you want. So you feel like you have your own morning with the girls, and the groom can do the same with his groomsmen, and you're just kind of in your own separate areas, which is really lovely. So one of the main benefits of the makeup suite is just the atmosphere of having all the girls together and getting ready in one space. You can see as well the guests sort of arriving if the weather's nice and they might be on the lawn, and it just builds up such an atmosphere of seeing everybody arrive and getting excited for the day ahead.
Done quite a lot to the cave. We've actually doubled it in size, which is fantastic, because the feedback we were getting from the couples was, this is a great addition to what you're doing here. And we kept thinking, well, that's great feedback. What more can we do to make it more enticing for people to, enjoy that space? And the thing is with that space is, whether you've got 1 or 10, it works. Space Invaders football games, barbers chairs, dartboards, we've got it all. And it is a real nice space. I think it's great for the photographers because they're getting a lot of shots early on. And yeah, great, it's an all family round room. And I think it's a great addition to Merrydale, and so glad that we did it.
So guests start arriving, we tend to have maybe a half an hour, 45-minute drinks reception. So hopefully if the weather's nice, everybody can get out on the lawn for that, but if not, we've got more than enough room in the bar area. So it's really nice to have a drink and just to see everybody catch up before you go into the main ceremony, and obviously to give the bride a little bit of extra time to get herself ready.
Depending what time they get married, it's 12 o'clock, 2 o'clock, the Toastmaster will call them from the drinks reception area or wherever they may be at that time into the ceremony room. Obviously then putting the buttonholes on and that, and making sure that if it's a 2 o'clock ceremony, they're getting everyone geared up and they're all ready to get across there before the bride arrives. So that is a great plus, that. And also what the Toastmasters will do as well is also welcome any early guests. Like Hattie touched on the fact of people coming a little bit earlier, having a drink just before the ceremony takes place. They're there to just steer people into the right direction and make everyone feel that, we've got a system going and it's working. As far as accommodation, we can handle up to about 38 people on site. We have 10 courtyard rooms, which are wrapped around the venue itself, all stone mullioned windows looking over the parkland, so they're fantastic. The house itself, we have 4 double rooms in the main house, autumn, winter, summer, spring. We have the 5 lodges, which are the other side of the lake. We put a bridge in that takes you across there on the golf buggy, or you can choose to walk across there. All done like Snowdrop, Bluebell, different names for them, but a real country feel to them. We own the pub in the village. Me and my wife have the dog at Peaver. The wedding job has actually complemented that because we have accommodation at the dog, and people who want to stop there the night before or whatever. Between the dog and Merrydale, we can handle up to about 50 people. So we've got the ceremony room. Well, fantastic building. Big oak building, glass all at one end, full glass view out all over the parkland. It's something else. Photographers love it too because it's giving a lot of natural light coming in. We've got the baby grand piano in there. As far as the space is concerned, most weddings we do between 80 and 120. It'll hold up to 200. It's a blank canvas for the bride and groom to decide what flowers they want in there, and there's no doubt about it, that is a hell of a wow factor at Merrydale Manor when all the family and friends walk into that before the bride arrives. So it all comes together then when everyone walks in and gets in there, and it's just, yeah, I just think it's great, a great space, and like I say, it's so different from the main suite, which makes Merrydale special.
And then once the bride is ready, like hair and makeup done, she'll usually go upstairs into what we call the bridal suite in the manor house, put the dress on.
And you might have the father, stepdad, whoever it may be, giving the bride away. And it's very, very rare you don't see a little glint of a tear in the eye.
And then there's an amazing photo opportunity that you can use by coming down the staircase in the manor house. So that tends to be a really good shot where all the bridesmaids are kind of stood at the bottom of the stairs and maybe mum or dad, and then the bride coming down is always just a beautiful picture to have taken.
Well, a very good afternoon to you all.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen.
Good afternoon, everybody. I would like to welcome you all here to the beautiful surroundings of Merrydale Manor.
To Merrydale Manor, on this very special occasion, the day of their wedding.
Well, today is the start of a new and exciting chapter. And I know that today has taken an awful lot of planning and preparation just to bring us all here.
Well, today is the start of a new and exciting chapter, but we all know that marriage is much more than just the wedding day. It's about your lives together once the celebrations are over. And as family and friends, you've all been invited here today on this joyous occasion, and to give your love and support to them not only today, but for the rest of their married lives together. I do have one very important question to ask. Who gives this woman to be married?
They say it's a tradition for the father of the bride to end with a few words of advice for the future of their married life together. So here we go. Number 1, remember you cannot buy time, so enjoy it and make the most of it. Number 2, always remember to keep your feet on the ground. And number 3, remember the best things in life are free.
You have both made the declarations required by law, and you have both made some very special promises to one another. It therefore gives me the very greatest pleasure to say, you are now married. Congratulations, have what to do.
When the ceremony's finished, so they come outside then, the Toastmaster gets everyone together and they do that big confetti shot, which is fantastic because everyone's excited, everyone's pleased, everyone's smiling, laughing, joking and enjoying that moment, and that is a great opportunity for the photographers to get that. People can drift out onto the jetty, onto the grounds around the fountain and the lake, and then soon after that they make their way through to the back gardens. What I think is a fantastic thing about Merrydale in respect to the grounds, we have the gardens, the immediate gardens, which we've got some lovely flowers and shrubs and all that, and it really complements the garden areas. But adjacent to that, the other side of the hedge there is endless amounts of estate ground. And what's great about that is it creates a lot of opportunities. And when I say that, we've created opportunities along the way where we can see the great shot behind the hedge. So to that extent, we've put a swing in. And when I say a swing, it is a swing. Sits 2 or 3 of you on it. What a great, great shot with the backdrop of the estate behind there, the fields, the sheep or whatever at the time's on there. And that's another great thing about Merrydale. All the grounds that we've got, we're setting well over 100 acre, but we keep it as sheep. It's always green. We're not doing other things and turning it to soil. We're just keeping the grass out there, and which is lovely. So it always creates that great back shot. You just walk around the whole place and you can just see that the opportunities are quite endless really. And I think that's what's quite nice for the photographers because they've got plenty of choice. And if the weather's against them, they can keep a bit closer to home and keep closer to the venue. if it's a lovely summer's day or the weather's on the side, they can just start venturing out a little bit more.
So after the ceremony, that is drinks reception time. So it's a really good opportunity for the bride and groom to go off and get some photos as well, but also just for the guests to relax and enjoy. A lot of couples choose to have canopies during this time as well, just to tide everyone over before the meal. And also a lot of couples have entertainment, so we've had all sorts of different types of entertainment during this time, from acoustic singers and guitarists. Some people have magicians going around, which is always a really nice thing, I think, to keep everyone entertained. The garden itself is just lovely for your photos as well. I think a lot of the photographers tend to get the family shots in that area. It's south facing as well, so if it is a nice day, you always get the best shots in there with the sun out. So yeah, the garden's a really nice place to be after the ceremony. Another new addition is the outside bar. So the bar inside is actually really close to the main garden anyway, but it is really nice to also have that option to have the outside bar, so you kind of get the best of both. So yeah, for in the summer it's really lovely. The caterers tend to set up some nice cocktails on there, or whatever the bride and groom may choose to do, as a nice welcome drink for everybody, so that's really lovely. If the weather isn't too great, or you're getting married in the winter months, there's no need to stress either, because the bar area itself inside can cater up to 200 people. There's a lot of nice, low, soft seating in there, so everybody can just kind of congregate into that area as well. Obviously every wedding is different, but we have had some really good, fun party weddings here at Merrydale Manor. A lot of people do choose to congregate outside when the weather's nice, even in the evening during the turnaround time. It's a really nice place to be on the back garden, but also inside. Sometimes the Merrydale bar can get really lively. It is definitely the place to be.
There's various numbers of spots, you know, what we call mega opportunities for shooting.
Hero shots, I call them.
The hero shot, right, hero shots. Well, the first hero shot I would say is walking out onto that jetty, especially with the fountain going. It's such a big lake, it's got a hell of a view to the back of it. So that is a big one without doubt. They always tend to catch that one. The second one after that, I would say the new gazebo that's just gone in. I think that is going to transform the back garden area for the mega shot, because it does look straight over the parkland when she's sat in there, which will be a great one. We've got the big balcony off the back of the manor house, the big stone balcony that you can throw the bouquet, which is another great opportunity for a photo. You've got the big swing that we've put in, and like you say, it's a mega swing overlooking the parkland again, so the backdrop to that is fantastic, along with the bride and groom. Then you walk round to the front of the manor house. Well, the manor house is, I always think it looks like a chocolate box from the front. It's just very well proportioned and got a lot of topiaries around at the front and what have you. So I think that's another great opportunity. You've got the main drag of the drive coming in, where it's all striped either side. And when I say striped, we have it striped, which is another great opportunity. And I just think the whole setup of walking around the venue, outside the grounds, when I say the gardens itself, there's endless opportunities there. I must admit, that is one of my favourite jobs, keeping it striped up. Now obviously we have the groundsmen do what they do, and they do a great job. But any opportunity I get, I'll jump on that tractor and I'll do that. And I think with those sort of things, it's lovely because you can seriously sit back and look back at the property and just make sure that everything is going to plan and going in the way that you set out for it to do. I love you wherever you may go. You're my all in all.
So drinks reception's finished and then you will go into the Merrydale suite for your main wedding breakfast. We like to show the bride and groom a little sneak peek in the Merrydale suite before any of the guests enter, and they are usually really, really taken back about how it looks. I think you have a vision, obviously, because you've done all the planning and all of that, and from doing that to actually seeing it on the day is a completely different story. So it's always so nice. One of my favourite things is, if I'm ever in the office, is looking on the cameras and seeing their reaction of them walking into the Merrydale suite for the first time. It's always so nice. I know when it was my wedding, I just burst into tears because it was just the nicest thing in the world. So that's always lovely, and then once the bride and groom have checked everything off and they're happy and good to go,
it gets announced by the Toastmaster that would like everyone to take a seat in the main wedding breakfast room. That is a great moment because those curtains are all open pretty well at the same time. The glass is all wrapped around the main bar lounge area and the bar itself, so it's definitely a wow factor before they actually enter the room. And then the Toastmaster then is revving the bride and groom up and the guests for this big entrance, and I think that works fantastic. I think one of the big things here as well is the food, and when I say that, that food has got to be bob on, and we all know that it's a big part of the day anyway. But I find that when I'm talking to people on the following morning after the wedding, they say to me, Mike, not only was the venue out of this world, but the food matched it. And I know, with it being such a big part of people's day, that is important to us with the feedback and a big sale tool for us going forward. I don't want them going out of here saying your venue was great but your food wasn't up to much, because we'd feel that we've failed if that was the case, but that is not the case.
So after the meal, people tend to be on a real high. You might have just finished the speeches or just finished your lovely 3-course meal, so it is then time to retire into the bar lounge area. Some brides and grooms tend to have extra evening guests arrive, so that is kind of the time that they'll arrive now. So it's just a nice little breather after your meal. This time can be as long or as short as you kind of want it to be, because we are usually set up and good to go for the evening in the morning. Because we have the curtain behind the chandelier, we can set everything up, so your dance floor, your stage if you've got a band and you choose to have that, any additional extras that you want for the evening are good to go already. So it's mostly just a case of having a tidy up after the meal and then open that curtain and you're good to go, set up for the evening. I've personally been to weddings before where that turnaround can feel like a little bit of a drag, especially after your meal. So it's really good that at Merrydale you don't tend to have that kind of lull. It all just flows really nicely, one after the other, and everybody's excited to go back in for the main event and the big party.
Exactly, I think that's been well thought out here, that the fact we don't need to do that. We're not turning rooms around that have already been used. And I think that does make it slick, it does make it clean, and I think it's really saves on time, and it's what the bride and groom love. That the fact that it's got this wow factor and it keeps giving, and it's new and it's new and it's new for the people that have arrived on the day to come and enjoy this lovely family wedding. And even on the evening time, by setting all that up in the morning that we've touched on, it does save a lot of suppliers walking through the crowds of people that may be in there trying to set up for that next event for the evening. We're just very lucky we've got the space to do that. And even to the fact that we have like a secret door at the back of the stage where the bride and groom can come onto the dance floor before we pull the drapes back. So they want to just be on there for the first dance, depending how good the dancing is. But that is a great touch, because not only are we pulling that drape back so they can see the bride and groom are on there, but they're looking at space they've not seen all day, and it's lit up with all the fixed in lighting for the first dance. It does look amazing. And then soon after that kicks in, the rest of the guests start moving onto the dance floor.
It's always nice to do a song, isn't it, that kind of goes from slow into building up a little bit, and then you can get everybody involved.
Get everyone involved, and that's when the party gets started, and it seriously does. I mean, it's great because whether they've gone for a band, whether they've gone for a DJ or whatever they've chosen to do, and obviously it's suited what their family and friends, it just does get rocking. I think, like you said, they come round, they see the venue, they fall in love with it. Well, the next step is us then. We've just got to make sure we give them what we promised. And we get a kick out of doing that. I think, when we come to the venue, whether it's in the morning, when people are setting up, whether they're on wedding breakfast, or they're dancing away at night, or the next morning when they're checking out and they're just having the breakfast, and you can go across to the couple and say, have you had a good time? And oh wow, that was the best day ever. The wedding breakfast and the evening, the whole thing, your crew, your people, the food, second to none. Loved it. And that is probably the best buzz you can get as an owner out of this business, because you promised these guys something and absolutely smashed it.
I would say to anybody getting married, consider Merrydale. I understand it more now even than I did before about how special it really is. I can honestly say I would not have changed a single thing about my wedding day.
What I would say to any couple that are considering getting married, please come and see us at Merrydale Manor, because we believe we've got something special here. And I honestly feel if you come down and have a good look and see how it flows and meet the people, meet the team, see what's going on, you can make your own judgment on it. But I honestly feel you'll think it's like us, a special place to be. And we probably touched on it early on a little bit, but about how the day flows. And that is all about getting the people in the right places at the right time, so they're not crossing over when they shouldn't be and all the rest of it. And I think as a wedding venue, we've absolutely got that nailed. And I think in the early days, what we did, we listened and we watched and seen if there's areas that we could have polished up on. I'm not saying it was wrong, and when we made it work, but if we felt there was an area that we could do better in, we did do, and we've invested in them areas, and we'll keep doing that for as long as we keep it carrying on in this business, because I don't think you can ever say that we've got it 100% today. We feel like we have, but I don't believe we have, and I think we'll just keep striving to be better and better and keep reinvesting and just keep polishing what we've got.
Somebody said to me, make sure that you and Joe just go and take 5 minutes, because it will go so fast. And I underestimated it. It's like when people say, oh, your kids grow up really fast. And you think, yeah, but they do. Like my little boy's 3 now and I don't know where the time's gone. And it's the same thing on your wedding day. It just flies by so fast, and all you end up saying is, I wish I could do it all over again. And that's not how you feel in the planning process. You think, why am I doing this? I never want to do it again. But once the day's been and gone, it's just, I mean, I guess you get to relive it through your videos and things like that and your pictures, but if I could change one thing, it'd just be, could I do it all over again?